I said to my husband that, the language is inappropriate. It's not acceptable.
Melania Trump, a well-known supermodel and former First Lady of the United States, never fails to wow with her timeless beauty. She was formerly a significant figure in politics. So many people are perplexed by her sudden departure from view. Beginning with her mother's untimely death, and continuing with her noticeable absence from her husband's early 2024 campaign events. Many are curious about the reason for Melania's retreat. We'll go over Melania Trump's sudden retreat from politics and the spotlight in today's video. Before we can comprehend why Melania Trump is no longer actively participating, we must first look at her early years and the circumstances that led to her being the previous First Lady of the United States. The early years of Melania Trump. What sets Melania Trump apart from her predecessors is her background. On April 26, 1970, she was born in Novo Mesto, Yugoslavia, which is now a part of Slovenia. Her unique path was shaped in large part by Amalia and Victor Navs throughout her upbringing in Slovenia. Her father had a key role in a government-owned vehicle company, overseeing the departments of cars and motorcycles. Her mother, meantime, was a successful pattern maker for a company that made children's clothing. Melania's mother's lineage may be traced back to Rome, while her father's origins are mysteriously from Archaea. Melania Trump's family is her life's purpose. Her sister Inez and an older half-brother from her father's previous relationship make up her close-knit family. Melania has a special and important place in her heart for Inez. As an artist, Inez enriched their sisterly bond with a unique and valued component. Inez has the privilege of serving as Melania Trump's maid of honor during her nuptials. This section highlights Melania's close relationship and the value of family in her life. Melania's commitment to her work and business ventures is not limited to her close family members. Melania Trump was raised in a basic and uncomplicated manner. She was raised in a concrete building in the quaint village of Sevnica, which is located in Slovenia's magnificent Lower Sava Valley, before taking on the position of First Lady. This charming village is surrounded by stunning natural beauty and rolling hills. The striking Black Peak and the amazing Combe Top are seen along the meandering Sava River, adding to the majesty of the surrounding landscape. Melania's modest beginnings were greatly influenced by the coal mining industry in the central Sava Valley, which is closely associated with the history of Sevnica. Melania's fate was greatly shaped by her early years in Sevnica. The combination of her mother's influence, her real-world experience in the fashion business, and her academic achievements laid a strong foundation for her success and significance in the future. Melania Trump's trajectory from the modest fashion exhibits in Sevnica to the esteemed stages of the international fashion scene and ultimately the world political arena is a perfect example of the impact of her early zeal and resolute determination. Melania Trump participated in children's clothing fashion shows as a youngster, as did other kids whose parents were factory workers in Sevnica. The purpose of these activities was to highlight the importance of textiles as the town's primary industry. Pupils were often granted permission to attend these events and were released from class. Trump has a great love of fashion from a young age, as seen by her sewing habit of customizing and making her own clothes. She developed this skill by closely observing her mother's artistic endeavors. Trump was appointed treasurer of the school after showcasing remarkable academic achievement. She grew up in Slovenia and was heavily influenced by American culture. She saw the Reagan administration as a new era and first encountered American media in 1985 on CNN International. Trump moved to Ljubljana when he was 15 years old in order to attend a famous secondary school with a focus on design and photography. Every day she would take the train to and from her village, until, after her first year, she and her sister Inez moved in the capital city. She finished her schooling at the age of 19, and then she enrolled in the Faculty of Architecture and Civil and Geodetic Engineering to further her design education. But after only a year, she gave up on her education to focus on her job as a professional model. She claimed to have an architectural degree during her husband's campaign, but since she was a model, she was unable to utilize it. However, reporters have not been able to confirm that she graduated from college or continued to attend beyond that 1 year. In what manner did she come to be the First Lady? and what circumstances led to her sudden disappearance. To get additional information, keep watching. Early profession and ascent to fame. Melania has a deeper interest in fashion than just trendy trends. She began to make and tailor her own clothes, honing her skills by closely studying her mother's meticulous work. This early real-world experience not only stimulated her creativity, but also laid the foundation for her future modeling career. Even back then, her aptitude and acute attention to detail were evident as she became proficient at transforming plain materials into stylish apparel quickly. Melania Trump's journey to become a global superstar began with a school-sponsored fashion display in Slovenia when she was discovered at the age of 16 by famous photographer Stane Jurko. Despite her initial desire to become a fashion designer, her exceptional looks and innate modeling skills quickly led her down a different path. Her big break came when she won a modeling competition sponsored by the Italian business Cinecittà, which assured her of a role in a film. Even yet, she declined the prize when a producer made inappropriate comments. She went from the Slovenian Knaus to the German Knaus, and from Melania to the more popular Melania for her first name. Undeterred, she changed her identity to Melanie Knaus and embarked on a global modeling career, eschewing her Slovenian heritage to pursue her goals throughout Europe. After Melanie finished second in the prestigious Jana magazine Look of the Year competition in 1992, she was offered a modeling contract with an international agency. She signed a temporary contract with RVR Reclaim in Milan because of enthusiasm and determination, but she soon moved on. Her career took her all around Europe, where she walked the catwalks and posed for pictures, giving one particularly memorable performance as the country's first female president in 1993. Melanie's early 20s saw her establish a base in Paris, where she shared an apartment with fellow model Victoria Silvstedt thanks to her celebrity. Her career soared as a model for prestigious fashion houses in Paris and Milan. Melania rose to the top of the European modeling scene because to her dedication and hard work. Her journey from a small Slovenian village to the glamorous cities of Milan and Paris is evidence of her perseverance and determination. She became friends with Donald Trump's future spouse, Paolo Zampoli, the co-owner of Metropolitan Models, in 1995. As she navigated the competitive modeling industry, Zampoli emerged as a significant figure in her life, offering guidance and support. Paolo Zampoli convinced Melanie Knaus to leap and pursue the United States by offering to represent her in the American fashion industry. In 1996, at the age of 26, she bravely relocated to Manhattan, surpassing other aspiring models. Zampoli arranged for her to reside with photographer Matthew Atanian in Zeckendorf Towers in Union Square, with her rent deducted from her modeling pay. In 1997, she participated in one of her first controversial photo shoots, appearing in a sexually explicit layout for the Frenchman's magazine Max with another female model. This unpaid session, which was captured by Alexandra Allais de Basseville, offered publicity but was mostly disregarded until 2016. Even though she was originally prohibited from working due to her tourist visa, she managed to get 10 modeling jobs and earned around $20,000 prior to obtaining an H-1B visa. An Ellen von Unwerth Camel cigarette ad that appeared in Rolling Stone and on a Times Square billboard gave her her big break. Melania had a clear edge over younger models when a regulation requiring the inclusion of individuals over 25 in cigarette advertising materialized. Melania moved to an apartment off Park Avenue when Atanian departed New York and continued to advance in the modeling industry. Her journey from Slovenia to the heart of Manhattan's fashion industry demonstrated her strength and unwavering dedication to her work. The romance between Trump and Melania. At 5 feet 11 inches tall, Melania Trump appeared destined for a career in modeling. Magazines such as Vanity Fair, Vogue, and the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue quickly took notice of her stunning good looks and easygoing manner. Being featured in such prestigious publications not only validated her presence in the industry but also brought attention to her versatility and alluring charm. In a strange commercial for Aflac Insurance in 2005, Melanie Trump starred alongside the beloved duck voiced by comedian Gilbert Gottfried. Melania and the duck switched identities through a surreal experiment reminiscent of Frankenstein's lab. At the end of the ad, Melanie wakes up and yells Aflac in Gottfried's distinctive voice. During her amazing modeling career, Melania Trump has adorned the pages of numerous prestigious fashion magazines with her exquisite beauty and captivating charisma. She demonstrated her flexibility and grace in high-fashion editorials and on glossy covers, working with renowned photographers like Patrick de Marchelier, Helmut Newton, and Mario Testino. At this time, she and Donald Trump were newlyweds. Melania was a fashion star because of her striking looks and memorable poses. Her frequent appearances on magazine covers attested to her ageless appeal and the influence she had on the domains of beauty and fashion. Every photo she took demonstrated her photogenic skills and ability to leave a lasting impression. Melania Trump started a new adventure when she moved to the vibrant city of New York in 1996. She met her future husband, Donald Trump, in September 1998 during a glamorous Fashion Week party that Halem organized at Times Square's famous Kit Kat Club. Despite living apart since May 1997, Donald and Marla Maples were still legally married at the time of the event Donald attended with Selena Middleton, his date, and took advantage of the situation to approach Melania and ask for her phone number when Selena looked away. According to a New Yorker story, it all began with a simple question from Donald. "Is your number something I could have?" Donald, who is known for seizing opportunities, was eager to get in contact with Melanie right away and fell in love. But Melanie responded with a unique blend of grace and subtlety. Melania and Donald got engaged in 2004. Their dedication was confirmed on January 22, 2005, following a spectacular wedding at the Episcopal Church of Bethesda by the Sea in Palm Beach, Florida. She graciously declined to give her number knowing that Donald would be attending the event on another day, but accepted his instead. This delightful conversation started a romance that would finally result in their marriage and set them on an amazing public trip into the realm of politics. Known for hosting basketball legend Michael Jordan's 2013 wedding, this venue added a sophisticated and historical touch to their big day. Following the ceremony, the newlyweds celebrated in the enormous ballroom of Donald's Mar-a-Lago estate, which was painstakingly refurbished for the occasion. The $35 million ballroom, with its sumptuous Louis XVI furnishings and crystal chandeliers, beautifully framed their happy party. She helped Donald Trump win more endorsements for his presidential campaign, and he worked hard to land her more modeling jobs. On March 20, 2006, Donald Trump and Melanie welcomed their son Baron William Trump into the world. Melania spent a significant portion of Baron's early years with him, cutting back on her work obligations and her occasional appearances alongside her husband. Challenges facing Melania Trump as First Lady. Ivanka Trump, Melania Trump's stepdaughter, assumed some of the First Lady's customary responsibilities during this era, leading to documented competition between the two. Melania Trump stayed in Manhattan during the first months of her term as First Lady, so her son, Baron, could finish his education and she could have time to renegotiate her prenuptial agreement. After moving into the White House, Melania maintained a low profile, frequently opting to live there rather than work from her East Wing office. Melania Trump stood out from the others as the First Lady whose native tongue was not English. While some speculated that her language background would pose a challenge for her in her role as White House spokesperson, the majority of reports regarding her sparse public remarks were related to her distinctive accent. Nevertheless, Melania persevered. Throughout her time as First Lady, she demonstrated her language skills in a variety of contexts, most notably in diplomatic trips and conversations with foreign dignitaries. Her composure and grace in overcoming language barriers demonstrated her grace. Speaking English, French, Italian, German, and her native Slovenian, Melanie made connections with people from a wide range of backgrounds. Her multilingualism highlighted the cultural diversity of the United States, a country founded by immigrants from all over the world, and helped her to be a relevant and sympathetic person on the international scene. In the end, her multilingualism proved to be a benefit because it emphasized the variety of American society. The Trumps' public persona conveyed grandeur and unity, but their private lives took an unexpected turn. According to White House officials and close friends, Rumors circulated that the couple shared separate bedrooms and did not spend as much time together as anticipated. Given their busy schedules and heavy workloads, this arrangement seems strange. The Trumps had little personal time because of Donald's demanding presidency and Melania's responsibilities as First Lady and other endeavors. But for them, this arrangement worked well as they navigated the complex realms of politics and business. After 2 failed marriages, Donald recognized that Melanie's low-maintenance approach was different from his previous partnerships. Melania, on the other hand, described herself as an adaptable, non-nagging wife. In a CNN interview, Trump claimed that they never argued and praised their easygoing relationship and natural chemistry. Fewer events were hosted by her than by her predecessors. As First Lady, Melania Trump prioritized issues pertaining to children, spearheaded the Be Best campaign to improve their welfare, focused on mental health, internet safety, and opioid abuse, and made multiple visits to children's hospitals to demonstrate her commitment to improving the lives of young people. Melanie was an important advisor to her husband, Donald Trump, who often questioned her about various subjects. She particularly condemned her husband's unpopular family separation policy at the U.S.-Mexico border and assisted him in ending the practice. In the latter months of her job, Melania did, however, endorse her husband's baseless claims of vote fraud in the 2020 presidential race, a stance that drew harsh criticism. Since leaving the White House, Melania has mostly remained anonymous and shunned the spotlight. The contentious book Tell All by Melania's closest pal. Melania Trump caused quite a stir on social media when she disappeared from view for several weeks in 2018. Rumors circulated that she might have left the White House, undergone plastic surgery, or broken up with her husband, Donald Trump. In reality, not a single one of these rumors was true. 2018 was a challenging year for Melania in particular. She faced allegations of extramarital affairs with her husband, a surgical procedure for a kidney disease, and an African vacation that was clouded by controversies. Melanie's medical condition required treatment, and it was declared to be private. Melania first returned to Andrews Air Force Base, receiving recently freed American inmates on May 10, 2018. And the White House later told The Guardian that she had undergone embolization surgery to treat a benign kidney ailment. However, the White House's evasive responses to questions only served to fuel rumors about her whereabouts. Despite this defense, her extended absence caused some people to question the veracity of the official narrative. Finally, after a period of relative silence, Melania Trump released a statement that read, "I am in the White House with my family, and I am feeling fantastic and working hard on behalf of children and the American people." Her reappearance coincided with the release of Melanie and Me, a book authored by her closest friend, Stephanie Winston Wolkoff. The world has never seen a First Lady as unique as Melania Trump, nor a U.S. president as unique as Donald Trump. She is one of the most photographed women on the planet, but she remains virtually unknown even with her own spouse. Stephanie Winston Wolkoff was one of the few people who truly knew Melania. She was her closest friend for 15 years, a valued advisor to the First Lady, and even helped arrange Donald Trump's inauguration. However, after their friendship soured, Stephanie wrote a tell-all book that finally sheds light on Melania's mysterious disappearance from the public eye in the fall of 2020. Melania and Wolkoff remained in contact during her 2018 absence, even though their relationship had soured by the time the book was published. Wolkoff told Melanie and Me about a conversation she had with her regarding the rumors about her health, which reportedly delighted the former First Lady. "Is it a facelift?" Wolkoff asked Melania, sounding rather afraid. Wolkoff's book revealed a more human side to Melania despite her contempt and certain strange White House comments made by Donald Trump. So addressing the rumors about her absence and viewpoint on those events, Melanie also responded to the question of whether she was having a nervous breakdown, saying, very honestly, "I'm thinking they don't even know who I am," as reported by the New York Times. Additionally, Melanie added that another friend had cautioned her that you don't have your own and that others cause nervous breakdowns. From the outside looking in, Donald and Melania Trump's marriage looks like a case of opposites attracted. Melania is quiet, small, and composed, whereas Trump is big and bold, Melania Trump is undoubtedly one of the most glamorous first ladies ever, but even with her public persona, she remains mysterious. Melania wants to keep people at a distance. Stephanie Winston Wolkoff is one of the very few people who has been close to the real Melania Trump. Stephanie stated that Trump's relationship is more like a strategic alliance, where both parties gain from the association beyond what others might understand. Stephanie is aware that this is not typical. Melania balances Trump's larger-than-life image by adding a little humanity to the presidency, Melania said in an interview. After Melania became the First Lady, their friendship developed into a professional relationship, and Stephanie was named her senior advisor by Melania using her connections in the fashion industry and expertise from staging New York's renowned Met Gala. False accusations of pocketing millions leaked to the media, a story Melania did not publicly challenge, left Stephanie to deal with alone. But mixing work and pleasure always leads to problems, and their relationship finally breaks out. Her stay in the White House was marred by internal strife and a contentious investigation into the inauguration's expenses, which Stephanie helped plan. Writing the tell-all book was Stephanie's way of clearing her reputation and telling the truth about her experiences. With the election fast approaching and the stakes higher than ever, she believes it is essential to reveal the inner workings of the Trump administration. Stephanie claims she was the victim of a political attack and that Melania knew the truth but chose not to defend her in front of the allegations. Trump's legal disputes. Since he announced his intention to run for president in 2024, Melania has been noticeably absent from the majority of Donald Trump's political events. It all started in November 2022, when Melania declined to attend events hosted by the former president. Unbelievably, Melania vanished from this momentous occasion, and her absence has persisted since. While her absence would not directly affect voters, it has become a hot topic for Trump's GOP rivals, who typically refrain from criticizing him on his MAGA ideas or legal issues. The enraged Republican began his 2024 presidential campaign from the opulent Mar-a-Lago Club in Florida, in an attempt to disgrace Trump. Where's Melania banner was flown over an Iowa football game, and missing posters featuring the former First Lady were distributed. The perpetrator is still unidentified, but Trump hinted to Truth Social that Ron DeSantis was involved. After initially brushing off these pranks, Trump eventually responded to questions about his wife's whereabouts. In two recent interviews, Trump discussed their relationship and Melania's absence. He defended Melania's qualities, saying, "I truly don't care about your attitude." And he also noted that sometimes people assume that Melania is not close to him. During an appearance on the Megyn Kelly Show podcast, Trump praised Melania as a very nice lady, characterizing her as really powerful and extremely even-keeled, reminding listeners that she was a somewhat popular First Lady among his fans and mentioning her appearance on the cover of Vogue. He did not quite get it right. In reference to her controversial Christmas decor, he said Melania didn't let criticism from the media define her. He portrayed her as self-assured and thoughtful, not relying on constant attention or positive media coverage to feel validated. In a separate interview with Meet the Press moderator Kristen Welker, Trump stated that Melania was with their son Barron at school and implied that she might accompany him on campaign trail. While the specifics of Melania's involvement in subsequent political activities remain unclear, her absence has sparked discussions about her media perception and preference for privacy over public scrutiny. Trump was circumspect when it came to the timing of Melania's return to the political spotlight. Even though he spoke quickly, he emphasized the importance of appropriateness, saying that Melania is a self-assured, private individual who loves her country and will become more involved in politics when the right opportunity arises. However, as the conversation progressed, Trump changed his initial response, admitting bluntly that, "I like to keep her away from it," underscoring the harsh and occasionally unpleasant nature of politics. He claimed that he wished to shield Melania from the savory aspects of public life. In other words, Melania's withdrawal from politics stems from her wish to stay away from the less appetizing aspects of public scrutiny, not from any animosity toward her husband. If we are eager to see more of Melania, perhaps a more understanding perspective on her divisive Christmas decor, or a more compassionate approach in general will help her to return at last. Joe Rogan proclaimed Melania Trump to be the most attractive First Lady of all time. Melania Trump, who has been recognized for her grace and beauty throughout her time as First Lady, has been named the sexiest First Lady of all time by none other than Joe Rogan. Rogan made this bold claim during a recent Joe Rogan Experience broadcast, addressing Melania's views regarding her husband's numerous criminal charges. The conversation began when guest Dave Smith wondered if 53-year-old Melania might want to return to the White House. If Donald Trump wins the Republican nomination and the general election in 2024, Melania could have this title and responsibility once more. Rogan responded that Melania loved the role, dispelling Smith's concerns. He added, "She's the sexiest First Lady of all time, without a doubt." Smith brought up the illustrious Jackie Kennedy, which startled Rogan and prompted him double down. "Jackie Kennedy was a rather lovely lady," Rogan stated. Though Smith acknowledged Melanie's attraction, he also brought up the fact that Jackie Kennedy was younger when she made her stage debut in 1961. Still, this lady is really pretty. She is professional in her hotness. When her husband took office, Melanie was, chronologically speaking, the 15th youngest First Lady. She was 46 years old. The youngest First Ladies were Edith Roosevelt, Martha Jefferson, Jackie Kennedy, Frances Cleveland, and Julia Tyler. Interestingly, Michelle Obama and Hillary Clinton were both younger than Melanie. She was 45 years old when her husband took office. It appears that Melanie, despite her attractive appearance, is not particularly interested in her husband's legal battles. A People magazine source claims that while Melanie publicly supports her husband, in private she secretly longs for a life free of media attention and complete seclusion. She wants nothing to do with any of it, even though she recognizes her husband's situation and believes that too much has been thrown onto him. The insider further claims that Melanie talks very little about all the legal issues whenever, anywhere, and despises them all. She is living her own life. A family tragedy is the secret tale of Melania Trump's absence. Melania Trump, the former First Lady of the United States, has been conspicuously absent from her husband, Donald Trump. His 224 campaign trail appearances, while there are speculations that her departure stems from a more profound and private reason, others have postulated that it is because she wishes to preserve her privacy or does not wish to be in the intense political spotlight. It has recently come to light that Melania's mother, Amalia Navs, passed away after a lengthy illness. Melania Trump's illness, a major aspect of her life, has been kept a secret within the Trump organization. Amalia played a big part in Melania's life. It is now believed that this tragedy that took place within her family is the real reason why she has withdrawn from the public eye and why her husband is running for office. Melania abruptly and hurriedly canceled a number of high-profile events and interviews in order to spend time by her mother's bedside, which sparked rumors. Amalia had been afflicted with a terrible illness for some time, according to her close friends and other people who were aware of the situation. Melania Trump felt caught between her public responsibilities and her personal emotional pain as Amalia's condition worsened, and her absence from the campaign became more apparent as Donald Trump focused more on it. Speculation escalated when she failed to show up for the crucial campaign launch event held at Mar-a-Lago, an event where her presence was not only expected but also deemed crucial. This contributed to the emergence of doubts regarding her mother's condition, which in turn caused a family crisis. The Trump family has remained silent on the matter, even though the public is highly interested in knowing more. According to family-friendly sources, Melania has chosen to grieve privately, despite the fact that she has been deeply affected by her mother's illness and death. It has been reported that Melania spent every possible minute with Amalia in the final weeks of her mother's life, providing her with consolation and support. Amalia's memory is cherished by Melania's friends and family as a source of wisdom and strength, which is one of the reasons that her passing is so tragic. But first, what do you think about Melania's absence? Please leave your comments below. Thank you for watching this video. We sincerely hope you found it interesting. You can catch up on the stories of your favorite celebrities by clicking the link that recently appeared on your screen. We hope to see you there.